Ahead at the international desk, Brazil breaks up a terror plot ahead of the Olympics. Russian athletes are furious after a doping ban is upheld, and Ted Cruz explains why he did not endorse Donald Trump. Hello and welcome to the International Desk. I'm Lynda Kinkade. First, we have some breaking news out of Brazil. Police there have arrested 10 people suspected of planning terrorism acts during the Olympics. They're looking for 2 other suspects. Let's turn now to our Shasta Darlington, who's following this story in Rio. Shasta, this comes just 15 days before the start of the Olympics. What do we know?
That's right, Lynda. This was just announced. This is really the first time that Brazil has broken up what it's calling as a suspected terror group. The justice minister spoke at a press conference. He said it was a very loosely organized group. They were all Brazilian nationals, arrested over 10 different states. And as you mentioned, there were a total of 12 arrest warrants. 2 of them are still outstanding. And what he said is they had been monitoring these individuals for a while because they pledged support for ISIS over these messaging apps such as WhatsApp. And they had been celebrating, for example, on these messaging apps after the attacks in Nice, after the attacks in Orlando. But it wasn't until they moved one step forward and started talking about planning an attack that they moved in with the police. They said, for example, that one of the individuals was talking about trying to buy a gun, an AK-47 from an arms dealer in Paraguay, that another had said that urged the group that they needed to start doing target practice, practicing martial arts. At the same time, the justice minister said that he didn't think that this was a highly organized group that posed a serious threat, but that they couldn't take any chances with the proximity of the Olympic Games, with the arrival of tourists. They felt the need to act and act quickly, but he said they still feel that they are prepared for these games now, just a little over 2 weeks away, Lynda.
And Shasta, just give us a sense of the security presence in Rio. I understand the military will begin patrolling the venues in the coming days.
That's right, Lynda. In fact, a lot of them have already moved in. There are going to be a total of 85,000 soldiers, police, firefighters, traffic cops all around the city. That's more than double what we saw in London. And for example, the national forces, the National Guard is already here. They're setting up their perimeters around the venues. The Marines are going to be patrolling along Copacabana Beach, where a lot of the hotels are. And what authorities have told us is that it's going to be even stricter, even tighter security in the wake of the Nice attack. They're widening the perimeters around those venues. Ticket holders will have to go through a 3-tier process where they'll first have to show IDs when they arrive. Those will be checked against an international database that has been gathering data from dozens of international agencies. Then they'll go through the metal detectors, and even then, once they're inside, 10,000 plainclothes police will be keeping an eye on things, monitoring for suspicious activity. So these will be very secure games. They insist with a bigger security deployment than we've seen at any other major international sporting event, Lynda.
All right, they certainly have a big job on their hands. Shasta Darlington, thanks so much for bringing us up to date with the latest there.